How you know how to work that shit?
You're like my 14th interview. So
how you know how to work?
I've been on a couple podcasts that had this, and they were like, they recommended this equipment and stuff, and then they were like, they just taught me how to do it. I fucked up a few times in the beginning. Oh, hi. You're listening to Service from Hell, a podcast featuring people that are currently in customer service positions or the lucky ones that got out, and all the good, bad, and infinitely irritating things that go along with that work. I'm actor and writer Kate Gaffney, and I'm uniquely qualified to discuss this as I currently work at a very busy and very popular comedy club in Los Angeles. And at least one of you listening right now has probably grabbed me and told me you were ready to order when I was running around like a crazy person. So let's eat. I'd like to welcome our guest, Punkie Johnson, originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. Punkie is an actor, writer, producer, and comic crushing the game out in LA. She's also a paid regular at the world-famous Comedy Store on the Sunset Strip. She calls herself a brutally honest lesbian who gets passionately aggressive about current events. And she can be seen on Crank Yankers on Comedy Central or Adam Ruins Everything on True TV. I better know Punkie from being screamed at by her saying I was a stupid bitch at the comedy club in Los Angeles. Punkie, you have no trouble talking, so let's go. Let them know about you.
First of all, you are really, really good at this. You are definitely a radio personnel. That was fantastic. I
appreciate you.
Oh, this bitch could talk for real. Second, I love the fact that you're doing this type of podcast because I was just sitting down, not sitting down, I was just at work yesterday and everybody was just pissing me off. Oh, I hate the way people treat people that's in the service industry. I hate it. Like one of my biggest pet peeves, one of the biggest ones is when they come in and they put their card on a counter or they put their money on a counter and not in your hand.
Oh, that drives me crazy too.
It's like, yes. I feel like that is one of the most disrespectful things. And it's not, I don't think it's disrespectful. I just think it's rude.
It's not acknowledging you as a person. It's just like servant.
It's like, who raised you?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Who taught you to just throw money on a counter at people?
Yeah. They're the same people that don't make eye contact.
I hate people that pay at bars with change. I hate it. This is not Sears. It's the fucking bar.
Wait, do people really give you change?
Sometimes I say we don't take change. I just tell them we don't take it. We round up or we round down, bitch. If the drink's $6.50, you owe me $7. If it's $6.40, you owe me $6. I don't ever.
Oh,
and because it's the same thing at like restaurants. Like if somebody left you change in your book.
Oh, it's rude. It's super rude.
It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I don't need your change.
And but you know what? Some people I notice do that is people that's not from this country. A lot of people not from this country will leave you change.
Yeah, well, that I could excuse.
I can excuse it, but I do tell them about these stuff. I'll be like, you get a pass, but let's make sure this shit don't happen again.
Okay, so Punkie, what is your like origin story? So you're here from Louisiana.
Yes.
What got you out here?
A breakup.
Okay, that'll do it.
I knew I wanted to come out here. I said I wanted to come out here. I think inside of my heart, I just didn't believe it because it's like, where do you start? You know what I'm saying? Nobody really know where to start until you just get started.
Sure.
And me and my current wife was in like a 8-9 year relationship, and then she broke up with me, and I lost my mind.
Aww.
Because that was my first love. I didn't know how to be hurt. I didn't know how to deal with it. So I started like doing crazy shit. Like I started like stalking her and following her around and showing up at her house unannounced and getting myself in trouble when the police was called on me a couple times, blah, blah, blah.
But you're in love.
So with that, when I found myself sitting in that tree, I have to figure out how to not do this. And the only way for me to not do it was to leave town. Mm. So I was like, where am I going to go? And it was like, duh, bitch, go fucking live your fucking dream. So her breaking up with me was bittersweet. It was bitter because it hurt, but it was sweet because I got to start something that got me here with your ass.
Okay, so was comedy your first love?
So comedy was my first love. I used to practice routines. I watched comedy all my life. Oh. It's the last thing I went to sleep to every night. Watching Comic View on BT every single night when I was younger. Black mamas clean up on Saturdays to music. My mama cleaned up to comedy. She cleaned up to Richard Pryor, to Eddie Murphy, or whatever comic was popping, you know, Paul Mooney, whatever. That's who she cleaned up to.
I love that.
So comedy was just playing in my house all day, every day. And when I came out here, I'm glad I went the route that I did. I came out here with a purpose. I went to an acting school, and the acting school had it set up to where it listed places where you could live. It gave you like a big book. It was basically like a brochure of where you can eat, where you can chill, where you can live, and just options and choices. So I started with that, with this pamphlet. And I went to Acting Corps boot camp, ran by this man named Eugene Buicker. or whatever the fuck.
Okay.
And then acting school ended. And then I was running out of money. I came out here with so much money, like 50 grand,
Holy shit.
which is nothing.
But I mean, good for you for having saved that much.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. But that money came from places I probably shouldn't be talking about.
Okay.
Because I was a little hustler, too.
Good for you.
Yeah. But in 6 months, that money ran out.
That's so real.
Yeah.
That's
You're
so real out
paying
here.
almost $2,000 for rent. You know, you got to pay your car note and just all this shit. So,
Well, and acting school is no joke. I mean,
yeah,
it's expensive.
that was like $2,000 a month, too. So then I was like, oh, fuck, I need a job. And I just went on Craigslist, somewhere I would not go right now if I was looking for a job. But back then, 9 years ago, I went on Craigslist. I was like, oh, the comedy store is hiring. And I tried to do catering and all that stuff, but I never passed none of the tests because you had to know how to pour wine. It was like, they asked you questions. You had to take a test. It was ridiculous. It was like, how do you pour wine? I'm like, bitch, you pop the thing and pour that shit. What the fuck I'm pouring it for anyway? If I bring it to the table, I'm gonna sit it there. You pour the wine your fucking self. I'm from New Orleans. We ghetto. We're not fine dining like that. You know what I'm saying? Where the parts I'm from. So I failed the test because I didn't know nothing about wine and champagne because it was a certain way you had to pour it.
You got to hold
over
the bottle.
your arm and all this shit. I was like, these people are out of control of California. So then I found a link to the comedy store.
Okay.
They was hiring cocktail servers. And in my mind, I was like, oh, fuck, I got to be a girl. That's the first thing I said. Cocktail.
Sure.
So I dressed like a woman. I mean, earrings. I mean, everything. I was cute, bitch. And I had on like this pink shirt with a like, I looked like a lawyer.
Oh my God, good
You
for
would have thought that I was going to the court of law. I was banging. I had a briefcase, bitch. I went and I was like, I have to get this fucking job. But then when I went in there, I found out that California is very different from everywhere else. It had to be a line of 75 people.
Come on.
No, I swear.
Oh my God.
I'm not fucking kidding you.
What year was this? Do you remember?
2011.
And a line like around the block.
It was a line. It basically was like an open house.
For like the comedy store.
For interview.
Holy shit.
I thought it was going to be me.
And like 5 other people.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I looked and I was like, there's no way I'm going to get this fucking job. I know I'm not. But what saved me was everybody had like jeans and t-shirts on. Bitch, I was dressed to impress. I was casket sharp in that bitch, okay? So I made a deal with God and the universe. I was like, in my heart, I was like, there's no way I'm going to get this job. It's too many people. But I made a deal with the Lord. I was like, look, if I get this job, I promise you, I'm going to do comedy. That's what it means. I'm supposed to do comedy if I get this job.
I could cry right now.
Bitch, why I got the job, I was so mad. I mean, I was happy I got the job, but I was so pissed because I had to go out there and keep my promise.
Yeah, you did.
And it changed my life. Fear, I overcame fear, and it changed my life.
Now, did your wife, like at some point, who was now she was your ex-girlfriend at the time?
Yes.
Does she follow you out here then, or like where does she come back?
Bitch breaks up with me, treats me like shit. Mm-hmm. Then when I said I was moving to California, then she's, oh, I want you back. And I was like, no, fuck you. Because by that time I was over.
You were over it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wasn't over it, but I was so hurt I didn't want to turn back.
Okay.
But she drove with me out here.
Oh, bless.
No, I hated her for 32 hours straight.
Y'all did that straight?
No, we stopped at a hotel because I think if you drive it straight, it'll be like 26 hours.
Oh, got you.
Hours.
Okay.
But we'll stop at a hotel. We stopped here and there. It probably took us about 2 days.
Okay.
Maybe more than 32 hours.
So she moves out here with you. So you get
3 years later, she moves out because she drove out.
Oh, she just drove with you. That was it.
And then I sent her ass back home.
Okay. So you went crazy for 3 years.
I went crazy for about a year.
Okay.
I left to come to California, and then I was having fun with these hoes for 3 years.
I bet you were.
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay. So you started the comedy store, but how did you? So what do they call you and say like, hey, you beat out basically 74 other
I had
people?
3 interviews.
Holy shit.
So they call me back, and I go and I talk to the dude, and then actually the third interview was supposed to be an interview, but the comedy store was so slammed, they just threw us out there. I had on like blue jeans, like I don't know what was going on, but they was like, all right, look.
It was a working interview.
It was, yeah.
They were like, go serve tables.
Like, go. They was just like, go.
Holy
They was just like, all right, look, y'all gonna expedite. And at that tough time, I didn't know what the fuck that meant. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I never worked in a restaurant. I worked at a bar, but it was, we did our own drinks. I never had to do things for people.
Yeah.
So we had to tray up. They run their drinks in. We had to tray them up and we had to go bring them out there. Imagine how stupid I looked bringing shit to the wrong table all fucking
I bet.
night.
It's massive. The club is massive.
All night.
Oh my God.
I was just like, Blue Moon? No. Blue Moon? No. Oh, fuck. Blue Moon? No. Shit. Blue Moon? Anybody ordered a fucking Blue Moon?
Okay, so that was your third interview. Like it was a working
That was the third
interview.
one, and then that was that.
So then that night, were they like, hey, you got the job? Or did you still
That
not
was
know?
my way of knowing I got the job.
Oh, was that interview?
I think it was me and Rose, Jose, and this guy named James.
Okay.
Us four got thrown to the wolves.
And all four of you got hired or only you and Rose?
All of us.
Oh, you did. Okay. Okay. So that was 2011.
That was 2011.
So you start working at the Comedy Store. Are you also like pursuing acting whilst you're like at the Comedy Store?
So in my interview, I told a guy, he was like, do you do comedy? I was like, I would like to do comedy.
Oh, you were honest.
If I started to work here. Yeah.
Okay.
And he was like, well, our workers get to do comedy here. So what I did was I was quiet for the first June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 7 months I didn't tell nobody I wanted to do comedy, which was good, but it
Smart.
was bad. It was smart, but it was bad because now I'm there. I didn't say anything about loving comedy and want to do it. So when I do say I want to do it, now everybody's like, you only want to do it because you work here.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
When I was just up there just trying to learn the game,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to go into it just ignorant.
Blind. Yeah, of
You know,
course.
so I tried to learn it and then go up. But it's all right. It made the road tougher, but it made me a lot stronger too. So
you start telling people, listen, I'm interested in comedy, and then our producers at the store being like, hey, we'll put you up, we'll give you time.
fuck no.
Of course not. They don't.
Nothing like it is now.
Yeah.
It was just like blah 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 whatever. I had to sign the list every Sunday and Monday. I don't think they put me up for 6 months.
So you would just, when she says sign the list, what she means is like potluck is something for anybody who wants to be a comic, and they have a friends and family piece on Monday nights where if you are affiliated with a Comedy Store, if you worked there before, or if you work there now, you're potentially higher up on the list. But like hundreds of comics come out and they put their name on the list just hoping to be picked.
Yeah.
So you having worked there, knowing all of these people, they still wouldn't put you up.
Right. So I was like, okay, cool. Y'all not gonna put me up? Fantastic. I just gotta fucking go to work. Every Sunday, Monday, I signed that fucking list. Never got up. Every Sunday, Monday for 6 months straight. I didn't miss one.
Good for
I signed
you.
that list. But the thing was, when they finally did put me up, I got their attention because I fucking killed it.
Now, were you doing open mics elsewhere? Like,
Yeah.
so you were getting your game stronger?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
you already had a set.
Oh yeah.
How many minutes did you say? Would you say
I
you
did
had
3
some-
minutes.
I knew they were solid 3.
Solid 3.
Okay,
Solid 3 minutes.
so you get up, and then are they like, "Oh shit, we're putting her up every week now"?
Yes. No. Fuck no.
Okay, so what happened then?
Then they was like, oh, all right.
So you were funny, fine, bye,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
So then I had to sign that list again. And then they didn't put me up again
Oh
for
my
a long
god.
time. And then I got the attention of Willie Hunter.
Oh, I love Willie.
Yes. So every time Willie hosted, Willie just put me up.
because he was like, she's good enough. We're getting her up there,
We're just going to get her up. But I still had to sign the list. But he would put me up anyway,
regardless.
regardless.
Okay.
So then, oh God. So then eventually I became friends and family. That's when Tommy was fired and then Adam took over.
So Tommy was the talent coordinator at the
Yes.
Comedy Store prior to the current coordinator, whose name is Adam.
Yes.
Okay.
Adam put me on friends and family and they still
Jesus Christ.
would not let me on the fucking stage. So you know what I did? I went back to signing up for open mic. Because it's like, instead of me bitching and complaining
Yeah.
and acting crazy with everybody, you know what? Cool. Y'all want
Fine.
to try to keep me out of this? No problem. I'll go back to signing the list. So what happened was I made a deal with the host. I was like, look, I don't have to get on for the friends and family part. Could you just do me a solid and just put me on the open mic regardless?
So what Punkie is not explaining is like the open mic portion that exists at the Comedy Store, and working that is incredibly intense because you're watching some people openly fail and it's really uncomfortable, and you're watching some people be unbelievable. So the balance of talent is crazy.
Yeah.
But if you're put in with potluck, you're dealing with the lights are on in the room, everybody's still walking around, there's maybe 10 customers in there, the rest are comics that are trying to get seen, and trying to make fellow comics laugh when they're all in the same grind is nearly impossible.
Correct.
And so you're going up in front of a crowd that basically hates you no matter what.
Right.
And that's the most intense performance experience. So you say to the host, I'd like to go up during potluck or during the
open mic portion.
Open mic portion. And what
Yes.
does the host say?
It was like, all right.
Okay, so you go up then.
Because I had worked so fucking hard and I was already on Friends and Family. So I guess they was like, well, you are on Friends and Family, but we're not going to put you on Friends and Family. But since you are making yourself smaller,
Yeah.
we will take that.
Okay.
And they put me on open mic.
Okay, so
then I just was on open mic for weeks.
Oh, Punkie.
And then I became regular with Friends and Family.
Okay, so what happens is open mic happens and then Friends and Family happens about an hour or two later.
Yes.
So the room is a bit fuller with regular customers who want to laugh and are not there to just judge you and hate you. And so I would assume it probably helps your confidence a little bit to be in front of that as opposed to a bunch of people that just want you to fail.
Yes.
Okay, so you start doing that. Are you also auditioning? Are you like pursuing
I didn't have
it?
no managers, nothing. I was just...
So you're working at the Comedy Store, performing.
Yep.
Now you're doing open mics outside of the Comedy
yes.
Store too. So
Hell
you're
yeah.
grinding all the time.
I was doing 3-4 open mics a night when I wasn't working.
So okay, so you would, on your nights off, you were out.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
So you start at 3:00.
Oh, girl.
You go sign up at about... So when I was in the circuit,
Yeah.
I would do rock, paper, go to sales, improv, and then whoever else, because some of the places was hit or miss.
Okay.
So you would sign up at 3, try to make it to the next place about 3:15, 3:30, try to make it to the next place before 4:00, and try to make it to the next place before like 4:35.
And that's PM.
Then you got to go back to all the places, see where your spot at, and then at the last spot, you have to be like, all right, cool. So I go on that rock, paper, I'm number 8. I go on that sales, I'm number 13. I go on this place, I'm number 2.
So you perform and you're in your car. You're running to the next location.
Yeah. And some days I rode my bike.
Oh, well, that would almost be faster in LA.
Yeah.
Okay, so what people don't understand that don't live in LA, that stress of trying to just get to your car, get parking, get in there, get seen, and then you're trying to be in the mentality of a performer once you get to the location, and you're doing that in 3 different locations a night.
Oh yeah, 3-4 times a week.
Great. I mean, were you just so tired all the time?
I was, but it puts you in like an overdrive. Like you just in a grind.
You just start doing it.
You just be like, it becomes muscle memory after that. It's just like whatever. This is just how the game go.
Okay, so you're getting
Then you
known.
make friends though.
Okay.
And once you make the friends, be like, look, I'm gonna sign you up at rock, paper.
Oh, so you wouldn't have to physically go.
Up at sales. You wait over there. You wait over there. You wait over there. You wait over there.
Oh,
and let's see how we gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
So you're all texting each other like, hey, you're number 7, you're number...
Yep.
Okay. So now then you time it in your head. Now what would happen if you were like...
You miss your spot.
You just do.
You just miss your spot.
Now do they ding you for that?
No, you'll just miss your spot. Maybe if they have enough time, they'll put you up after. But 9 times 10, you miss your spot.
Okay. So you're doing this grind. You're working at the Comedy Store, trying to make money. Now, are you actually making a living wage at the Comedy Store? Like, was it busy at this time?
The Comedy Store was weird, man. I got lucky because I ended up moving in a place that was very cheap. Huge apartment for like $900.
You bitch.
I am so pissed off I got married and lost that place. I am so mad. It was the best apartment ever. Parking, wash and dryer.
Where?
Fucking around the corner from where I live now in Hollywood on Van Ness in La Mirada.
Holy shit.
It was my dream apartment. It had a window in the kitchen.
Oh.
It was window in the bathroom. My hardwood floors.
Oh, it was amazing.
It was great.
Okay, so you move out of there once you get married. So you're living in Hollywood. So you're making enough to survive at the Comedy Store.
Oh yeah, I was making a lot of money because I was picking up everything that I could pick up.
Okay, so was it as busy now?
No, it's super, super busy now.
Okay, so then...
But back in the day, it would be 5 of us in the main room on a sold-out show.
Holy shit.
We were used to working 2 sections at a time.
Okay.
We were used to working main room or belly room sometimes, all 3 of them if we had to. So we just getting ate up, but we making the money.
Okay.
So it's kind of it was kind of the same. We just didn't have a lot of people to cover all the sections.
Okay, so you guys were just grinding at work every night, basically.
Yeah. You ever ran with a tray?
Oh,
we was running with trays in that bitch.
Okay.
We was running.
And a tray holds 20 drinks. So a tray weighs between 30 and 40 pounds.
Yeah.
And you're that's crazy.
Let's say walking really fast. I'm clumsy.
But I mean, you're moving.
I used to try to encourage my customers to get bottled beer. Because if they get bottled beer, I can fit up to 30.
More. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. So you're just dropping, turning, going to the next table.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's no
And then
interaction.
I mastered holding the tray. I had to master that because it gave me seconds. It gave me more time.
So you'd be holding the tray and delivering drinks.
Fucking right.
Oh.
I had to start trying to figure that out.
Okay, so you're grinding the Comedy Store. You're doing your open mics. You're like really getting after it.
Yeah.
What is the shift that got you to where you are now? Because Punkie's not going to say it, but she's very successful in her career. No, you stop laughing. Her career is on a train ride into, it's crazy.
It is on a train ride. I'm enjoying the journey because sometimes the catch not as good as the chase. You know what I'm saying? We have to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
You never know what that catch gonna be and how it's gonna feel, and so I'm enjoying this chase. It's like a relationship, you know. Once you catch it, you're like, oh fuck, this bitch boring now. You know what I'm saying? You just really never know.
Sure.
So it had been for a while. It had been 2 years that I had been on Friends and Family, and then we had to do a showcase. Adam don't do showcases no more, but he did a showcase.
Wait, rewind real quick. So when you say 2 years of being on Friends and Family, what you actually mean though is that you were still only going up during the open mic portion, or had they finally?
They finally started letting me do Friends and Family.
So you're actually on at the like 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock hour. Okay.
Yes.
So then Adam offers a showcase to you.
So what Adam does is whoever been working at the Comedy Store for 2 years, you get a showcase.
Oh, wow.
That was how it used to be. I don't know how he do it now.
Okay.
So you work there, you do comedy for 2 years. Then everybody that's been there for 2 years gets a showcase. It's all on one night.
Okay.
So me and 17 other guys did a showcase.
How would you get 3 minutes? I mean,
They gave us like 4 minutes, but I wound up doing like 6 or 7 because I was like, look, you can't tell me I got a showcase and then before I go on stage, you tell me it's 4. No. Nigga, I talk too much. I'm doing 6. So I did 6, bitch. Because in my mind, nobody gets passed on the first showcase. And in my mind, I was like, I'm not going to get passed anyway. So, bitch, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want.
So what would a showcase have meant if you were to, like, that you could potentially become a paid regular?
Yes.
Or what would it? Oh.
That's the showcase. Get your name on the wall.
Holy shit.
Becoming a paid comedian.
Okay. So you're like, I'm doing 6 minutes. So you do 6.
I do 6, and I got like a standing ovation.
They weren't pissed you ran the light.
They couldn't be. I fucking got a standing ovation because
amazing.
Number 1, I was bartending.
Okay.
Number 2, Joe Dosh was hosting, and he decided to put me on last. He was like, you going to close this motherfucker
because he wanted to give you the most amount of time. Oh, he's such a good egg.
He let me close it out. I was at the front bar. Some of my homies from New Orleans was there that night. The universe was just on my side this night.
Yeah, it was.
I'm drunk. Because I'm on a high. I'm having a good time.
Having the
like,
most fun.
This showcase, you know, they don't fuck with me anyway, you know. I got a fucking standing ovation. I fucking murdered that shit. And I was one of 17 to get passed. So that means all those motherfuckers that gave me trouble in the beginning.
None of them passed.
I passed all them bitches up. Just like that.
Not a one of them passed.
Not
that
a one
night.
of them.
You were literally the only one.
The only one.
That's fucking so good.
And that was my kiss my ass moment. I was like, haha, bitch. Y'all fucking gave me all this trouble. Y'all treated me like shit. Y'all didn't let me on stage, and look at me now, bitch.
Oh, Punkie, that's so... I did not know.
All 17 of those guys were like that, but a lot of them were.
Well, sure, because they were putting you on the open mic portion. I mean, regardless, like, okay. So that happens. So you get passed at the Comedy Store. Now, what is it that, like, because, like, she's signed with a huge agency now. So what got you...
So I did a sketch with Sarah Silverman's company.
Oh, shit.
Jash.
Okay.
And the sketch was called Please Understand Me. And this sketch was like a therapy session. So it was like me and my man talking to this therapist about a problem that we had.
It's funny. You guys should really look it up. It's so good. Because you play a married couple and it's so amazing.
So in these sketches, of course, they're unscripted. And
those were... You would not know that was improv.
You have A to B. Basically, it's like it's like bullet points. You know what I'm saying? You kind of know what you're gonna say, but you don't. All you get is the story. Okay, Punkie and Ahmed, he loves to eat vegan. She's not vegan. She cooking his food like this, da da da. So you got the story,
sure.
But in the sketch, we had to fill it all in.
Oh my! You would never know that. It's so natural.
So while we doing it, I was like, can I be myself? Or they was like, Punkie, go big as you want to go. Just whatever. If you too big, we could cut it. Or we'll just tell you not to say that shit no more. So I just was a ghetto bitch. And then after that, after that sketch came out, my phone started ringing off the hook. Prince of Potter.
Holy shit.
Mosaic.
Okay.
3 Arts.
Holy shit. These are massive agencies in Los Angeles. These will change your whole life.
Just from that sketch.
That's crazy.
So I ended up signing with 3 Arts.
Which is a great agency.
And then WME saw me at the Virgil.
Doing stand-up or doing... Okay. Were you opening for someone or were you headlining?
I was just on the show.
Oh, so was it just like a slated, like you get 15 minutes or how much?
Yeah, I got like 10 minutes.
Okay.
And somebody saw me. And this was about... I signed with WME this year. 2 years after I was with my management company, WME found me at the Virgil.
Okay.
And then they reached out to my managers. And then we had a meeting.
Okay.
And after that meeting, my manager was like, well, we're going to send you to CAA and all the rest of them and see what, but WME offered me everything around the board. Brandon, voiceovers.
So for people not in the industry, that is a crazy, we call it an across the board deal. And that is a crazy, amazing deal because that means they are pitching you for any opportunity that you could have to make money. And so when you're housed in one location, I mean, there's mixed opinions about this, but like for the most part, you have an entire team hustling for you across the board and you kind of get to relax a little bit because they're now pitching you in any way to make money. And it's amazing.
My first check my first check was $20,000.
That's now she's saying that just so you guys understand though, like that's not actually like that's an amazing first check, but she's not like flexing on the money. What she's saying is like that's an amazing opportunity. Yeah. You got to spread that out. And like that's the difference between the grind that she was on and the grind she's on now.
That was the first job they got me.
Which is crazy.
It was like, we want you, let me show you how much we want you. Go through this 10 minutes and we're going to pay you 20 grand.
What was that?
Berkeley.
Okay.
I ended up performing at Berkeley College.
Okay, so you were doing stand-up for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, how did you actually see the full 20 or that was...
Well, fuck no.
Okay, so just so I want people that not in the industry to understand how this works.
Uncle Sam taking 33 off the top, 34% off top.
Okay.
So just like that, you down about $6
grand.
12,000.
Oh shit.
Just like that.
Okay.
Then
so now you're down to now we've got like what? Eight oh, you got so you're dealing with 12.
Then you got to give 2 stacks over here, 2 stacks over here. You're down about $8 grand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not as much as everybody thinks. Is what she's saying. Okay, great.
Yeah.
But that was so your life changed. You signed with new people and your life changed. An Alphabet agency will change your whole life.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is who you're with now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, guys, we're going to transition now. Hope you enjoyed your apps. It's on to the entrees after a quick break. We're back, and now it's time for entrees. This is the super speedy speed round of questions. This goes back to more customer service stuff since we already got to know you.
Got it.
Okay, so what was your first job ever?
Ever?
Ooh, Don't count like babysitting or dog walking bullshit like that. I mean, the government was taking taxes out of this money.
I think foot action.
Okay. Were you a salesperson or what were you doing?
Working the floor, selling shoes.
Okay.
I got my first job. I think I got 2 jobs at the same time.
Okay.
So I worked at a grocery store. It was called Winn-Dixie.
Oh, I know Winn-Dixie.
Yeah.
Okay.
And foot action. I think I probably got hired at both of those places at the same time.
How were you able to maintain 2? Were they just part-time, both of them?
I was young. I didn't have no after school activities because I got put out of a Catholic school for being gay. So then I went to a public school where at the Catholic school I took all the classes I needed to take. So when I got back to the public school my senior year, I was getting out of school at 11 o'clock a.m.
Okay, we're going to break from tradition for just a second because I've got a whole lot more questions, but I just want to rewind real quick. You got thrown out of a school for being gay. How old were you? 16, 17. Were you dating at the school? Or how did they find out that you are gay?
I was dating someone at the school, yeah.
Did that person also get thrown out?
They don't know that I was dating her. They just knew I was openly gay at a Catholic school.
Okay.
And they didn't like that.
So they literally threw you out of school for that?
Well, they tried to put a charge on me. They was like, oh, she kissed somebody. And I was like, I didn't kiss nobody. But that's what they said.
And so they lie. They kick you out of school.
They kicked me out of school.
So now how's your family reacting to this?
Oh, my mama crazy. My mama like, fuck them bitches, bitch.
Oh, so she had your back.
Oh, she gonna have my back. My mama might not agree with a lot of things that I do, but she got my fucking back.
Oh, you're very blessed in that way. That's awesome.
She was like, fuck them, baby. We're going to get you in another school. You're going to be fine.
So you moved to a public school. You start going half days? Like you said, you're done at 11 a.m.?
I had too many credits for their school. Because I went to the Catholic school is very different academics.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So by the time I went back to this public school, all the classes that the seniors was taking, I had took them all.
Are you serious?
I'm so serious.
So you're like, let me get 2 jobs.
I took physics. I took chemistry. I took biology too. I had took all of that shit already and passed it.
Okay, so now you're working at Winn-Dixie and you're working at Foot Locker.
Yep.
So those are your 2. Okay,
yep.
So you're doing those simultaneously. How many customer service jobs have you had total?
Whew.
Take your time.
Foot action. I would call that customer service because it's annoying. You got to try their shoe on.
It's 100% customer service.
Foot action. Not so much Winn-Dixie because I was more in packaging.
Okay, so you didn't have to interact with customers. Okay.
Well, no, I'm lying. I remember I had a couple months on a cash register because you got to learn cash register
That
first.
counts.
So let's do Winn-Dixie. Let's do Foot Action. And then Target.
Oh, God, was that awful?
Oh, my God. Can I help you find something? Oh, my God. You have to ask that to every customer.
No matter what.
And if you don't, and that's when Target just got popping. So they were very strict.
Oh, God.
They're not like that now because their customers rude. They employees rude as fuck. But when they first started, they was like, "Can I help you find something?"
To everybody.
And every rack had to be finger space apart. So you had to put your finger down and make sure all the hangers was finger space apart.
No. Oh, I would have gone crazy.
Oh, I did. You should. I quit that place in the most epic fucking way.
So I'm going to need to know that story.
Oh God. So that job, and then I had AT&T,
Okay, so we're up to 4.
and then I worked at a bar.
That counts. That's 5. This was all in Louisiana?
Yep.
We're still there.
And
Okay.
then Comedy Store.
That's it. So 6, but 6 epic. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go back to the Target thing in a second. Which was your favorite job of all of those? Just of the customer service jobs, not of like, because obviously comedy is your favorite of all time, but like.
That's a tough question because I love the Comedy Store. That's not one day I don't feel like going to work.
Really?
The Comedy Store is it's fun. We get to have a good time. We don't have a lot of side work. They hire maids. Like, we're blessed to be at this job. We deal with a lot of shit,
Yes, we
but
do.
I think it's us that keep us going. You know what I'm saying?
It's a great way of saying it.
So I do like it but I think the job that I had before this one, it was called the Daiquiri Shop. And they're the reason why I was able to move. So I owe them so much
Okay.
because they were so great to me. Because I had lost my job at AT&T because it was a kiosk, so it just shut down.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, fuck. And I got this apartment. I got all this, da-da-da-da. And the same day I lost that job. I didn't even know that I lost my job. I just went to work and it was closed.
Are you
It was
kidding
locked.
me?
Yeah.
And then you were like, I guess that's it?
Yeah, it was it. Yeah, you call them, everything shut down.
Holy shit.
We got fucked. We didn't get our last checks, nothing.
That's illegal, isn't it?
It's like what they gonna do?
They just
Are
don't
they gonna
exist
go
anymore.
through the whole trouble of getting a lawyer and all this shit? It was just too much trouble.
Oh my God.
So I just said fuck it. I went to this place. It was a thing where my dad used to work when he was younger, a younger cop. He used to anyway, he used to be like the bodyguard at that place. I don't know what you call it though. And I just went there, briefcase again. Me and these briefcases.
I love it so much. I love
I
it.
had my shirt tucked in. I looked very nice. I went up to the lady. I was like, ma'am, are you hiring? Here's my resume. Think of me if you da-da-da. And she looked at me up and down. And she was like, come upstairs. That briefcase, it got to be something about that briefcase.
Well, also, I think you also know how to read a room.
Yeah.
Like, that's what makes you good at comedy. Like, you know what you're dealing
Her
with.
name was Miss Sue. She took me upstairs. I filled out the app. I probably started working the next day. And that job was good, too, because in New Orleans, the rent is like $800.
Ooh.
So I was making like $400 a week.
Oh, so you made rent very fast.
Plus taxes. Plus checks. Because the tips was $400, $500 a week.
Oh, okay.
And then your check.
So you made rent in a week, in theory.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's how I bought my first car.
Oh, my
That's how I was
God.
stacking so much money. That's how I was able to move to
L.A.
L.A.
Okay.
That's a piece of how.
So you would say that those two tie for your favorite. What's your least favorite customer service job ever?
Oh, girl. Probably Target.
Okay.
That can I help you find some shit? I was like, bitch, get the fuck out of my face. And then everything, you had a zone. So when you went to work, they'll put you in a zone. I used to love to be in like the bigger departments where things are big, like furniture
Okay.
and bedding and sheets.
Yeah.
Because with those things, you would just have to pull them to the front.
Okay.
That's it. That's so easy. Okay, I just got to pull this to the front.
You're not doing fingers in between.
And,
or whatever.
and clothes was worse. You had to pick up all the clothes. You had to fold the clothes. You had to make sure everything was finger with them. I hated being in the baby section because people would go in there. You got the kids running around. They bucking shit up. They dropping shit. You got to clean all that shit up. You got to rotate all the baby foods. I hated being in the food section because you got to fix all of that. I used to like to be in the big section.
Okay. So but that was your least favorite job, you would say?
Least.
Equally.
I hated it. I hated the managers.
Oh, everything
I
was
hated
awful.
everybody.
And that was in Louisiana? That was not out here?
That was
out
in
here?
Thibodeau, actually,
Oh, okay.
when I was in college.
Okay. Got it. What's the weirdest thing you've ever been asked to do while you were on the clock?
Oh, girl.
You can say anything. We've gotten some good answers on this one.
The weirdest thing?
Yeah,
One was sexual
of course.
and the other was drugs. So at the Daiquiri shop, this guy was like,
You can say it.
I'll eat your pussy.
He just said it to you.
He just told me.
outright.
He was like, "You want me to eat your pussy?" I was like, "All right, yeah, you can eat it." And I
You
mean, fuck
said
it.
yes.
Yeah, bitch, I was single. I'm like, shit, it don't mean nothing.
Okay.
And then
Wait, so how did that actually transpire?
he liked me. And he's always coming in. He'd be like, "Let me
Hey,
eat your
girl.
pussy.
Okay.
I want to eat your pussy so bad."
So finally you were like, okay.
Hey,
I love it
you
so
take
much.
me out, you get me drunk. Ain't no telling what's gonna go down. And it was in a truck outside the daiquiri shop.
Okay. So that was asked while you were on the clock. What do you have an go ahead. What's the other one? The drug was one.
And then at the comedy store,
All the time.
do you do look, I ain't got no cash, but I got drugs. I'm like, all right, I'll take that too.
So we gave in like exchange for things.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Got it. Did you ever have an incident that was your fault or whatever that made them ask to speak with your manager in any of your
That was my fault?
or not necessarily your fault, but just something where they were like, hey, we want to talk to your manager.
You know what? I'm very good at de-escalating things. If anything, I'm the one that calls the manager.
Okay, so give me an example of that then.
Like, for instance, this guy, he comes up to the bar and he's like...
This was at the Comedy Store?
This at the comedy store.
Okay.
He comes into the bar and he's like, give me a beer, any beer, pick a beer. I was like, sir, here's the list of beers. Just pick your own beer. Because I know once you pick something for somebody and they don't like it,
they get it
I don't
for
have
free.
time for that. So I pick your own beer. But he was getting on my nerves. So I was like, all right, fine, whatever. I was like, Miller Lite? He's like, yeah, Miller Lite. I gave him a Miller Lite. Then he tried to pay me in Australian money.
Oh, come on. Oh, my God. That's a different continent. What do you do?
And it was coins.
Of course.
And I was like...
And you notice, of course,
I'm
because
like,
you do.
We can't take that. He was like, well, my card is inside. I was like, well, go get your card or you're not getting this beer. It's just as plain and simple.
That's so easy.
So then he started acting crazy. And I was like, call the manager.
What do you mean acting crazy, though? Get specific.
Talking to me like, I'm trying to pay you money for this. I told you to pick something for me, and then you give me this bullshit ass beer.
This is how people talk to us, guys. This is how people talk to us.
He talked to me crazy. He wasn't even the worst. They have another guy that came up to the bar. He came up to the bar with another guy that he didn't know, but he tried to make me think he knew him.
Okay.
Because he was like touching them and da-da-da. So the dude ordered his drink and then he ordered his drink. And then the other dude paid for his drink and then walked off.
And did not pay for the second guy's
And did not pay for the other guy's drink. And then the other guy walked up and I was like, no.
Your drink is this much.
Your drink is this much. And he was like, no, the other guy paid for it. I was like, no, he didn't. And he was like, well, I'm going to go get him. I said, okay, well, go get him. But you're going to leave this drink right here.
Good job, you Punkie.
So he goes to get him. And check out how nice I am. I take his drink, I put it down, I cover it with a napkin.
You are so
because
sweet.
I don't let drinks stay at the bar like that. Somebody can put something in your drink.
True.
So he comes back to the bar and he was like, you bitch. And now you're going to take my fucking drink down?
Oh my. Oh, how did you lose it? I
didn't lose it. I was like, okay. Ryan.
Yeah. Was that
Security.
the manager? Oh, security.
Easy.
Get out.
Once you start talking to me reckless, I don't talk to you no more.
So you just shut it down.
They had to wrestle him out. They had to drag him out. He refused to leave.
Was this recent?
This was like 2 weeks ago.
I was going to say, I feel like I heard this.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's crazy. So that was an incident where you were like, you got security. Was there ever a situation where a table that you went to was like, either we're not going to pay for this or like, this was back like when you were serving before you were bartending?
Somebody said they're not going to pay for something.
Or were you like,
some people, you always have a problem with the gratuity. We do have some gratuity issues.
Please talk about this.
On the menu, it says if you have 5 or more people, you're getting charged for gratuity. I guess
and it's 18%. It's not even 20.
Yeah.
It's 18%.
I think that's fair.
I do too.
But what people try to do is say we're separate. Mm-hmm. But even though you're separate, you're still in a group of 5. We're still going to put the gratuity on all the checks.
Thank you. I do this too. And people argue with me. And I'm like, no, you've told me up top you're a party of 10.
Yeah.
Just because you gave me 5 cards,
it's gratuity.
Yeah.
There are no loopholes with this. We put everybody getting taxed.
Thank you.
So there have been problems where people don't want to pay for the gratuity.
So how do they? What has been the approach? They've been like,
It depends on what manager. I think that's with every job. You got some managers that's bitches and they want to please everybody.
True.
And they like take off the gratuity then. And then you got other managers that's like the rule is the fucking rule.
Yeah.
Pay it. We got your card. I mean, you can
call your credit card company
call
tomorrow.
Your bank,
yeah.
But that's not on us.
Yeah, because it's written down.
Yeah.
So would people say to you, they'd be like, "Hey, we're just gonna pay for the drinks. We're not paying for the gratuity."
Well, we got their card.
But I mean, like, is that what they would say to you?
Yeah. I would just be like, "Well, it's on your card already."
And that's it.
Take it up with your bank at this moment.
Good job, you. What's the last straw that got you out of, like, did you ever have an incident where there was a job where you were like, fuck that? Like, maybe I would assume Target, but like, was there something where, because you said you left that in an epic way, was there, or is there a different job where you were
The
like,
reason why I left Target in an epic way is because I put my 2 weeks in.
okay.
And I was like, I'm gonna really work this 2 weeks. I'm gonna do the right thing. And then one day I didn't feel like it. I was like, fuck this job. I'm so sick of this finger shit. And I called him and I was like, I'm sorry, I can't come in. I'm done. And the dude was like, you only put in your 2 weeks. I was like, yeah, I know. But he's like, you're gonna burn a bridge? I was like, I'm never gonna work for a Target ever again.
And I literally won't put you on my resume, so it's fine.
Yeah.
No one's gonna ever know.
And you know what he did? He's like, well, have a nice life. Click.
And you're like, you know what? I am.
Once somebody don't show up at a Target, it's very hard to keep that place afloat. So I did kind of fuck that up. But
so like if someone calls out of a shift, it like sucks.
yeah.
Okay.
But if they treat it, the thing is, people understand, if you treat your staff right, we will, no matter what the pay is, we will bust our ass for you.
That's true.
We will. And like the Comedy Store, they have a lot of things that I think are unfair.
Agreed.
But if we hungry, we get to eat. If we want to drink, we get to drink. They had times where I needed places to wash my clothes. I got to wash my clothes. They had times I didn't have a place to sleep. I remember I had nothing. I didn't have food. They sent me home with food every day.
Oh.
I ate. You know, they fucking take care of you. And they'll take care of all of us. That's why I'm like, fuck it, I got this place back. So when people come in there and they don't have the place back and they all about themselves, I really get angry.
Sure.
Because you have no idea the things that these people can do for you. All you gotta do is open your mouth and be like, look, I'm poor. Look, I don't have a place to sleep. Look, I don't have a place to wash my clothes. And they will open the fucking doors and provide for you.
Well, Josh used to live there, right? Like he used to, because he had nowhere to
live in
live.
the parking lot here. Come in here. You can't live in here because of alarms and shit. But live in the parking lot. Park your car here. You're safe.
And they let him do that. That's comedy, and that's definitely the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
Okay. How many bodily fluids have been on you whilst you were working on the clock?
Oh God, sweat,
Okay.
blood.
Someone else's blood or your own?
Mine, of course, because I always cut my fingers cutting the fruit.
Okay. Anybody
And,
else's blood?
Oh God, I think somebody fell one time, and I was like, oh God, you dumb, stupid bitch.
And was bleeding everywhere.
Bleeding everywhere. So sweat and blood, no puke. Thank
Never?
God.
You lucky. How is that possible? I got puked on within like a month.
I'm just like so grateful.
Oh God, that's the worst. It's
I
the
feel like I
smell.
could see it coming.
Oh, and you're
Somebody
like, that's
puked in my trash can in the front bar.
well, that's, yeah. So you didn't, could you still smell it?
No. It was liquid puke. That's my favorite puke, the liquid.
Well, it's not gross.
Yeah,
It doesn't
it's not
have that
food,
odor.
and it's like ugh.
Yeah. Oh, it's the odor ones that.
Yeah,
ugh.
yeah. And everybody want to hug you, so it's just like ugh.
Everyone hug you at the front bar?
Yeah.
Or,
Everybody
really?
like, come
Why
on
is
in
that?
for a hug. Because now people know me at the front bar on Mondays. So they're
Sure.
like, come on, let me get a hug. Let me get a hug. Let me get a hug. So
How do you
I'm
handle
hugging
that?
all these fucking people.
Oh, you will hug them.
I hug like it'd be like the quickest little side hug.
Side hug. Okay. Do you tip?
Do I tip? Mm-hmm. Who?
Well, you answer that for me.
So I tip everybody. Number one, like
Including Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, like everybody.
Oh, I tip everybody.
Okay.
My Uber drivers get $5.
Wow.
I
Okay.
give them like $5.
Okay.
It really depends. Like my Saints bar that I go to,
Yeah.
I fucking bless them on Christmas. I'll give them $100 tip.
Aww.
And I felt good doing that because they worked very hard for us. They opened up their bar for our Saints fans. I was like, I'm gonna give these people $100 for Christmas. And that was only because Rose gave me her shift. And I was like, Rose, you just helped me to bless these people. So I'll take your shift. Thank you. But I tip everybody 20% or more.
Across the board is 20%. Now, what if the service is bad?
Still,
You'll still give 20%.
if you rude, purposely rude,
Yeah.
I'll be done fucked you. But if I see you like slammed and you're busy and you're like, I'm coming, I swear to God, I'm coming, just sit tight, I'll be done tipped you 100%.
Okay. So if someone, what's considered like the rude, that would be the line for you where you're like, and you're just rude. Like when someone's serving you. I mean, obviously derogatory terminology, of course, but I mean like if there's like a thing where you're like, oh, when this person does this, they're not getting a tip.
Oh, that's very hard. It's very hard to get me to that point. Because the only reason why it's hard to get me to that point is because I've been there.
What does that mean?
I've been in those shoes. Like whatever you're dealing with, I've been there.
Okay. Like an example of have you ever been rude to a table?
Of forgetting to put a kitchen order in? Or
Same.
But I always blame the kitchen. I'd be like,
Always.
they didn't
Me
give it
too.
to you yet.
Me
I was like,
too.
I'll be right fucking back. I'm gonna get these motherfuckers for you.
That's what I say. I'm going to go talk to them.
They are out of line.
I don't know
am
what
so
happened.
sorry. And then I go back down. I'm like, look, I'm gonna get y'all niggas $5.
I'm so sorry. Same. I did that last
But
night.
it's hard to get me to that point. I can't think of nothing off the top of my head.
Because
but
you get it.
yeah,
And have you ever been stiffed?
all the time.
Okay. What
You know
causes
we get
that?
stiffed all the
I
time.
know we do, girl.
We just
I know we do.
people just Like last night, for instance.
Okay.
This guy bill was $12. He got a PBR. It was $12.
He should give you 15 at least.
In the tip sign, he wrote $12. And in the final total sign, he signed his name. So I looked at that. And being as honest as I am.
Lucky you, because I would have been like, well, it looks like he tipped me $12.
Yeah, I could have, and I should have. So I gave it back to him, and I was like, you put 12 in the tip. I was like, thank you. But I knew what he did.
You knew what he was doing.
But I wanted him to look me in my eyes and tell me,
I'm not giving you money.
I'll hold people accountable.
Oh, good for you. I'm petty as fuck too. I do that shit.
I'm petty.
Too.
I'm like, I was like, oh, thank you. He's like, oh, no. He was like,
and
that's
still clarified and left you nothing?
Yeah. He was like, oh, no, that's just the total. I was like, oh, so 0 tip. I was like, okay,
I love that you said that so much. Did you really say thank you?
I told him thank you.
Good for you, Punkie. Have you ever been fired from a customer service job?
Never been fired.
Never. In your whole life? From any job?
I don't think I've ever gotten fired.
Damn, lucky you.
Oh, I have. I used to work at Schwann's.
What's Schwann's?
Schwann's is, I used to drive trucks.
Oh my God.
So Schwann's was a company that delivered food to people.
Okay.
And I used to drive these big ass fucking 18-wheeler trucks.
You would have a separate license for that, right?
Yeah.
Oh my
I used to drive
God.
these big ass bitches and deliver food to people, bitch. It was so
Was that in Louisiana?
Yeah.
How old were you? You must have been like 19.
Yeah.
Oh
no,
my
maybe 20.
But you were young as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
And I was horrible. Because you have to meet certain goals every day.
Like
and
how
these
much you would
routes
deliver?
were ridiculous. The route you had to go on there was worse than UPS routes. I'm like, y'all got me out here for $700 a week. I'm working 12, 13 hours a day.
No.
I'm like, y'all got me fucked up hourly. That's nothing.
No, it's nothing. Literally nothing.
Yeah. So I switched and I was like, look, I don't want to do this shit no more. I'd rather work in the freezer. The freezer, you go to work at 3 a.m., you get off at 11. I would like that better because it equaled out to what you was doing on them routes.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Because you'll go in there and you'll just take everybody's truck and put all the food that they needed for their route on their truck.
Okay.
And I got fired because they changed management and the management ran it way different from our old management. And I just started being disrespectful.
What's an example of something you said that was disrespectful or did?
Well, number one, they was white. So I would come inside every day and I'd be like, Obama, bitch. I would just be saying, because that was when Obama was running for president. I was just being super rude because all of us was black. And these were the first 2 white managers we had.
You got to learn how to
off the
fit
bat, just
in.
being young, just going straight to the racist level without even getting to know them. Just by the way they looked and talked to us, we really felt like they were trying to like make us feel small. Without even trying to understand the situation, we just straight up was like, fuck them. So I started like stealing food every day. I was like, fuck y'all motherfuckers. I was stealing ice cream, fucking steak plates. Because the food that you deliver looked like Hunger Man dinners. But it
Okay.
was very, very good quality.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So I was taking everything.
So were you wrong in that situation, would you say?
I was 100% wrong.
Okay. There you
But I
go.
was young.
You didn't know. Okay.
I'm keeping my claim. I was young.
There you go. That's a thing. That's a real thing.
But I would never do that again. I
You
would
would
never
not.
work for a place like that again, and I would never steal from a job again.
Good for you. Okay. Have you ever added a tip when they like didn't fill out the totals and they were like clearly
Never.
going to?
I feel like that's jail shit.
Well, it's theft. I mean, it is definitely
I
theft.
feel like that's something if your manager find that shit out, and if they really didn't like that shit, they could take your ass to jail.
Oh, yeah. I don't think people understand how serious that
That's
actually
a
is.
very, very serious offense. I do not play with people's pockets. I might steal from the job
Sure. But not people's money.
because that's the whole corporate industry.
Sure.
But people that's personal.
I agree. And also, like, if they're paying attention, like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's happened to me so many times where people have added tips and I tip 30%,
Yeah.
like minimum. And when I'm like, you added a tip on top of a 30% tip?
Right,
Like,
right.
I'm going to call your
Right.
boss. Like, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
you have to because that's bullshit.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, what's the worst customer that you can think of, or an example of the worst customer interaction that you've had? I'm sure maybe this isn't like
The worst customer, I'll tell you right now, I was working at the Decker shop in New Orleans.
Okay.
And this guy was being very, very rude to me.
What's an example of what he was saying?
He would just like tell me all just very derogatory about my sexuality. He was telling me he'll put his dick in my mouth and all kind of shit. So,
Knowing that you identified as gay.
right.
Ew.
And he was just very mean. So I told my boss and she banned him. She told him, you're
Oh,
not
she had your
allowed-
back.
Yeah. She's like, you're not ever allowed to come in here ever again. And if you do, we will call the police and have
Good
you
for her.
prosecuted. Executed. That
would be the
funny.
best.
Oh my God. They killed me because So he stopped coming around for a while.
Okay.
And then he came back at night when none of my bosses was there.
When you were like by yourself?
It was me and like 2 other people. Cause like I was on the register plus making the drinks. And then I had my boy who was doing food. And then my other homeboy was on the fryer in
Were
the
you
back.
scared?
I was scared to death.
I would have been too.
So I saw him and I looked at my boys, both named Chris and Chris. And I was like, I gotta call.
I gotta go.
I gotta call Miss Sue or the police or something like that. And so I was like, you're not supposed to be in here. You need to get out of here. So I told him, I was like, I'm calling the police right now. And while I was on the phone, he picked up a chair and threw it at me.
Oh my God.
He threw a big fucking steel chair at my face.
Did you see it coming?
Yeah, they got a picture. Matter of fact, next time I go home, I'm gonna take a picture of the picture. They have it hanging up from 9 years ago.
Oh, that's
me
good.
blocking the chair while I'm on the phone with the police.
If you have a picture that I'm going to put that as the picture of this episode. That's amazing.
I have to call Miss Sue and get that picture. And so he left that day.
But so he throws the chair and he
throws
pieces
the
out.
chair and the whole club, the whole bar chases
come for him
down the street.
Good, as they
But
should have.
He got away. So then maybe a couple months later, he comes back.
What a dumb fuck.
He comes back and he goes upstairs to the bathroom. That's where the bathrooms was. And I turned around. I looked at my boy Chris. I was like, look, I think this dude gonna try to do me something.
Yep.
And I was like, I think I'm gonna go at him first before he come at me. So I took the chopping board,
Yeah.
the wooden chopping board,
Yeah.
and I went upstairs to the bathroom and I waited for him to come outside.
Good for you, girl.
As soon as he came outside, I just attacked his ass.
Clocked him.
I fucking clocked the fuck out that bitch.
Did he fall?
Oh, he went down. I was just beating his ass.
Did anybody come in to...
And then my boy Chris came upstairs. And when he came upstairs, I was like, yeah. But by the time I looked back, he had punched me in my face. The guy got up from the ground and punched me in my face. And then Chris went crazy. He was like, you don't hit no motherfucking female, Nick. Like, he went crazy
Lost
on
his
this
mind.
dude. And then we just beat his ass in the hallway and then kicked him down the steps, which when I got scared because I thought
He might have died.
Yeah. Because the steps went down in the L. And he went down all those steps.
Okay, so how do you know that he survived?
Because he got up and ran.
Oh, because he was scared.
He got up and got the fuck out of there.
Can you explain, just this is like a sidebar, like the like law enforcement in New Orleans, are they on the side of like vigilante justice, or are they always black and white of like they could have come after you?
I think it depends on the officer, which one come to the scene.
Did the cops get called?
I don't remember if the cops, I think I handled it.
And so it was just
if
like
the cops got called, he called them.
Okay.
Because we kicked his ass. But then again, I never saw him
He
again.
never came back again.
And then, girl, let me tell you how the universe works. It is so weird. So my cousin comes to the daiquiri shop, and my cousin was, in the game. And he's sitting in his truck, and he's like, come outside, cuz I got some weed for you. I was so excited. I go outside. I get in the car with my cousin. The nigga is in the car. He knows my cousin.
Get the
first thing the dude say is to my cousin, he said, man, you know this stupid bitch?
Don't say
My
that to your cousin. Beat his ass.
I don't know what he did. He just looked at me. He said, step out the car for a sec, cuz I'll be right back. And then I never saw that dude again.
Okay. I might edit that part out. Okay, great.
I don't know if he threatened him. I don't know if he murked that bitch.
He just talked to him.
Know.
He just talked to him.
He had a
They
little
had
talk
a
with
stern
him.
conversation.
Never saw him
and the
again.
rest is history. Great. We're going to move on. What was the best customer you've ever interacted with?
Ooh, the best?
Mm-hmm. Or like a positive, like an example of something like positive that you were like, oh, like this job doesn't actually suck all that much. Or like dealing with people is not that.
No.
See, I think people need to pay attention that is almost always the answer, is that people don't actually have an example.
I mean, they all pretty cool or whatever, but usually they just typical.
Have you been tipped like crazy on something where you were
No,
like,
but Jenny got tipped like $2,000 one night.
I will die?
It was Anaya Lathan. No, what's the lady name? Maria Twain or some shit? I don't know. The singer, her manager used to come there.
Get
and
out.
he tipped
Oh,
Jenny
Shania
$2,000.
Twain? Is that who you're
Shania,
thinking?
I think it was.
Tipped her $2,000. Good.
Council didn't even have that money, so they had to put it on a check, and they taxed her ass so bad.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not.
That sucks. That
Should've
actually
been
really
cash.
sucks. Yeah, it should have been.
Yeah.
That actually really sucks. Or at least half of that in cash.
Yeah.
If you look back on all of your customer service, like what's your favorite memory of, like, obviously that's not like you don't want to be in customer service forever, although comedy is a version of that. But like, what is it that if you look back on your whole customer service job experience, what's something that you were like, you know what, I learned this, and this, and these are invaluable lessons for me?
I learned if you broke, don't go out.
Hello. You don't even know that's like the tagline of this whole podcast.
Don't go out. Stay your ass at home.
Because we've all been broke. We've all been broke.
And when I'm broke, I don't go nowhere.
Same.
I stay inside, or I'll be like, look, can you cover me? I got you, or something like that. But I'm not about to go out there and let somebody else suffer the consequences because I don't have no money.
Correct. Same.
I learned that.
Okay.
I did learn, especially working at the front bar where you're dealing with a whole bunch of crazies and you're kind of out there by yourself.
Yeah, you are.
I did learn to be very, very respectful to everyone because you just never know. Number one, you never know what people are going through. And you never know if they got a weapon. It's because this one guy fucking threatened to kill me when I was at the front bar.
At the so what people who haven't been to the Comedy Store, what they don't know, so when you're at the front bar, you're kind of on an island because you're not in the interior of the building. You're technically on the street, even though there's like a bar around you and you're serving drinks and it's technically the Comedy Store property. It's essentially an extension of the sidewalk. So you don't have, there's no managers out there. Now there's security, but I doubt there was when you got threatened to get killed because there used to not be security.
You got to call. You kind of technically got to call security on a walkie if something happened.
Yeah.
Anything can happen within those seconds that security is coming up.
So what happened where that guy threatened you?
He called me a dyke bitch, and I was like, your mom.
Yeah,
your mama.
Let's go.
And when I said your mama, I don't know, he was like, don't you ever talk about my mama. She said something about my mama.
So he made it about him, even though he instigated and said derogatory shit to you.
Yes, because one thing I don't, like I said, I don't argue at the bar. I will just shut everything down and refuse service.
That's
I don't
easier.
go back and forth.
It's easier.
But if you call me a fucking name, I'm coming back at you. If you curse me out, I cannot deal with the disrespect.
Same. So how did it escalate to him threatening you?
Oh, they banned him. But sometimes I still be making sure that motherfucker not around.
But in that incident when he was like, she's talking about my mama, did he then say, I will kill you? Or like, how did it get to that?
Because he left. They put him out and he left. And then they went and did their jobs and he came back.
Of course.
And he came up and put his finger in my face. He was like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Jesus Christ.
Talking about my mama. I was like, all right, kill me, nigga.
Yeah, please.
Because at that point, I'm like, all right, whatever. What a gun.
Yeah.
Do it, bitch.
Don't use your fingers because that's not doing anything. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the good stuff. We hope you guys saved room for dessert. What is the nicest thing that a customer has done for you whilst you were working that you can like remember an incident where you were like, oh.
Some customers are really kind. Like some customers will clean a table.
That's true. That is, they've worked in the industry though when they do that.
I do. I'll be like, you worked in the industry?
I say it too.
They be like, yeah.
I get it.
They will fucking wipe it down.
Yeah, they will. Throw their own shit away.
Throw their shit away, stack everything up in one spot. So when you come to the table, all you got to do is pick it up and roll out.
Yeah.
Some customers will do that. And that shit you have no idea. That shit can really make your day.
Oh, it does. It's a small thing.
It's so sweet.
But it's also an acknowledgement that kind. Like, yeah, it's kind.
And I love customers that be like, you want something to drink?
Oh, do people offer that to you a lot?
Yeah.
And do you take them up on it or do you just say no?
I take them up on it, but I don't let them pay for it. Now, if I was in the room, when I was in the room, I would let them pay for it.
So, okay, I never know how to handle that because people will offer that all the time. And I never know, like...
If it's in the room, I put it on the tab.
You will.
Because it depends on what bartender you're working with, though. Like, you couldn't say that shit to Luke. Or,
yeah.
I would, if it was me, if I'm bartending, you'd be like, look, a customer offered me a shot. Can you throw me a shot? I'd be like, of course. But Josh wouldn't do it.
No, they got to see it coming.
It depends. Rob might do it. You never know.
Yeah.
Don't think Jenny would do it.
Yeah.
Rose will probably do it. It just depends.
But otherwise, you would ring it in.
Otherwise, I'll ring it in and let them pay for it.
Okay, so those are kind of
because it gives them joy. They want to do it.
They do, and it's very sweet when they offer that. You're like, I'm like, it's put something in my brain where I'm like, I should start offering this when I'm like out because it's nice.
And some of them leave you notes on the receipt.
Yeah, they do.
Some of them put hearts and like you were great and have a great night.
Have you ever gotten, I can't get over how fast you guys work and how hard you guys work? Like it was like
because they see it.
Yeah, they do.
That's why I be trying to tell people when they see the hustle in you.
Yeah,
they're gonna the decent people will take care of you.
Oh, they'll honor it for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we kind of already touched on this, but like if you could take away one lesson from the entirety of your like working career, besides the ones you've already shared with us, is there one thing that you want other people to know that when they go to work with customer or they go to interact with customer service positions, something that you're like, they should know this?
This is for the customer.
Okay.
The customer is not always fucking right.
Thank you.
You have to understand your role and why this went south. And then maybe we could work this out. Because 9 times out of 10, it's not the server or the waitress or the bartender.
It's them having a rough day.
100% them pissed off because they're mad at the price. It's like, I didn't make the price.
I don't see a dime of that. I literally see none of that.
I see none of it.
Yeah.
They're mad at the 2-drink minimum. Well, you knew that.
That transition is really actually perfect, and you didn't even do that on purpose. But like the thing I didn't put in this, but I really want people to know is that like I feel like you should maybe talk about the song that you wrote because
2-drink minimum. I wish they let us play that shit while people are being seated.
So Punkie, did you write it with Rob?
So me and Rob was just fucking around one day, and he made a beat, and I was just drinking, and I just got on the microphone and started singing.
And you just kept saying 2-drink minimum.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I don't know. It just flowed out. That wasn't written or nothing.
I love that. So the song that I brought up that Punkie's referencing is called 2-drink minimum because at most comedy clubs in the country, which actually started at the Comedy Store, you have to have a 2-drink minimum per person. And people like to argue, well, it's a 2-item minimum per table. And it's like, no, it's a 2-drink minimum per person. It's literally painted on the wall at the Comedy Store.
Yes.
And at other comedy clubs, you can see signs that say it's a 2-drink minimum. Like it's information they have. Yeah, it's on the menu.
They tell you at the door when they seat you.
They tell you when they seat you. It's on your tickets.
It's on your tickets. It's on the internet.
Everywhere.
The website.
It's everywhere.
The promoter tells you.
So Punkie and Rob is a bartender at the store, have developed this song, or Punkie just like sort of came out with it, talking about the 2-drink minimum. And in the song, don't you also list the excuses that people have for you?
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't. I'm pregnant. Okay. Well,
we got water.
We got juice and shit. I even known a couple pregnant bitches drink wine. You want some wine?
Hello. Like I've heard I'm allergic to liquids. I've heard that too.
Allergic to liquids.
And I say like, and I've literally said to someone, how do you survive? And they said, carefully. And I was like, I'm not, I can't.
Either way it go, you got to pay for it.
Still got to pay for it.
Well, we will charge you for 4 bottles of water, and we will keep them.
Yeah. You don't have to drink them.
And you ain't got to take them. You ain't got to do nothing.
Yeah. Your allergy that will kill you, we just won't deal with it.
Has just cost you $16, bitch.
Okay. Well, is there anything else, Punkie, you want to throw in? Anything else from customer service that you're like, I wish people knew this, or
know what the fuck you want? I could see if you go to a bar and it's a huge menu, you know,
and it's craft and it's whatever. I get that too.
And it's just, I get that. You know what I'm saying?
Same.
Because, and it's slow. You know, people have to understand, especially at the Comedy Store, it's a high volume place.
So fast.
We don't have time to sit at your table all night because we got 20 to 30 other tables to get to. And when I say tables, I mean 4 person per table. So that's 3 tables. That's 120 people that we have to serve in 2 hours. So you sitting up there saying, that's not helping us, because then the jackass at table 10 is going to be pissed off with me when he need to be pissed off with you. So it's just like, have your order ready. I can't stand when adults don't know what the fuck they want to drink. I hate that. You're an adult. How do you not have a set drink? I have a set drink. I drink tequila. If you ain't got tequila, I'm going to drink Crown Royal. If you ain't got Crown Royal, I'm going to have a Coors Light. If you ain't got a Coors Light, I'm going to have a Heineken. I'm not going to sit up there and be like, well, I have to think. No, bitch.
There's no time.
Know what the fuck you want.
Yes.
Because we do have to wait on you, but we don't. I think people got that mixed up. Like, you have to wait on us, so we don't have to wait on you.
Clarify that, please.
That means people think that the server has to wait on the table.
Literally wait.
Which we do, but it's actually the other way around.
Yeah.
You have to wait on us because we have to go get your shit. We have to put in your order. It's opposite. So we don't have time to be standing there. And do not touch me.
Oh, say it louder. Say it louder. Don't touch me.
Not touch me.
The number of people that want to physically touch us is astounding to me.
And it's just, it's so belittling.
Yes. It's condescending.
And don't call me sweetheart.
Oh, ever. And they all do.
Sweetheart. Oh, do not ever fucking. I heard my wife call that to somebody one time. I was like, don't ever.
Ever.
I was like, you don't know how that makes us feel.
How do you, minus like the Monday that you reference, like where you'll work the front bar and you let people hug you, how do you handle if people ask you or go to touch you? Well, because I know servers that will just like throw their arm if they get touched.
Oh, like, no, that behind the bar is my permission to be touched. Because I would have to come from behind the bar to go to the hug.
How would you handle it if you were on the floor and someone just touched you?
Oh, I always tell customers, please don't touch me. And I say it in the best way possible.
Morgan does that too. It's smart.
It's kind of like I was like, look, I told y'all my name. when we started. I told y'all, call me Ham Hock. If you need something, say ham. I was like, please don't do that.
Yeah.
It's like a PTSD. It's like, why did you do that?
Why are you touching me? Yeah.
I get like scared.
Same.
So yeah, I think those are the things that and I hate when people be like, what are you getting? Why?
Why do you care?
Why? Let your friend order what your friend want. What do you want? Because now we got to sit here and watch y'all two have a conversation about what y'all about to drink.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that too.
That's it.
Same girl. Okay. Well, how can people get in touch with you, Punkie? How can they?
If y'all looking for me, Punkie Johnson, JOHNSON on everything. Twitter, Facebook.
If you Google it, you'll find her too. Do you have a special or anything that's coming out? Do we have a way we can see you?
So I did something called Bill Burr Presents The Ringers. That's coming out January 10th.
So you worked with Bill Burr.
I did.
That's amazing.
My episode is coming out on Valentine's Day, which is a perfect gift for my mother because that's her birthday.
I love it. Well, then we'll release this episode right before then, so you can get some eyes
That'll
on
be perfect. Blast that shit.
Yeah, we will. And anything else you want to throw in before we wrap up today?
Don't be an enabler. Be selfish in an unselfish way, meaning help and be thoughtful. But if it inconveniences you, pick yourself. And don't be afraid to say no, because you're saying no to them, but you're saying yes to yourself.
Hello, these are great. This is life advice. I love all of that.
You have to, because I had to start saying that because this year was a year of me finally putting myself before everybody, even my wife.
Wow.
So it was very hard for me to say no to a lot of people. And I missed a lot of lunches and a lot of birthdays and a lot of celebrations. I missed a lot. But I was saying no to them, but I was saying yes to me.
And look at where your career went this year.
You have to understand when you say yes to yourself, you're being selfish about your future, but you're not being selfish to the people that you love. You know?
I love
and if they love you, they'll get it. They'll understand.
Yeah, I love that. Well, we're going to drop checks now. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to help us out here at Service from Hell, leave us a 5-star review on iTunes and tell your friends to listen. It will help us reach more people that need to be schooled in the art of being kind, and will be catharsis for those of us working in the industry still. Remember, if you can't afford to tip, you can't afford to go out. So don't be garbage and be good to people. It's easier that way. Thank you guys so much for listening. That's a wrap. Bye, Punkie. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, bitch. I loved it.